Hello. About 3 years ago, I started learning Spanish, and you know the reason why? Because I had to. At the beginning of my journey, I didn't really know how to start, so I decided to watch a bit of Ikenna, if you know who he is. And I was a bit lost. I didn't know what to do. But I found out, through watching a lot of his videos that learning grammar isn't that important, but learning the vocabulary, so you could say, the words, was way more important, because you can say, you want, yesterday, and you'll understand that I wanted, you wanted yesterday. You wanted to do it yesterday. You know, you don't have to know the grammar to be able to, formulate what you mean to say. But again, learning vocabulary only gets you so far. There's a point where you'll have to do immersion. You'll have to sit and listen to natives speak, for a lot of time. And you'll have to listen to a lot of natives to speak in, and you'll have to speak with them in order to level up your speaking abilities, because you won't just get to the top without being at the bottom, you know? You have to do something. And the reason I started to learn Spanish was because I was forced to, you know? You have to choose a language when you go to high school in Norway. And the languages you have to choose from were German, Italian, Spanish, French, and Chinese for some reason, I don't know. But they didn't really do much in the Chinese lessons. And therefore I chose the one that seemed like the simplest one. Because obviously I don't want to spend a lot of time learning a language. I've heard how horrible it is. I've tried Duolingo for 1 year with Russian. I got nowhere. I knew the words яблоко, which means apple. It's it doesn't... I'm not good with languages, I thought, until I found out there's another way to learn it, through immersion and learning vocabulary. And a bit of grammar later on as you advance. And at the time when I had to learn Spanish, I wanted to learn Russian. So do you know what I did? I would write random Russian words with the Cyrillic alphabet on the test. And I told my teacher I want to have Russian, not Spanish. It didn't help my grades. I got a 3 out of 6. So it's not a good thing to do in order to get better grades. And other schools had Russian, but mine didn't. So I was like, why can't I have Russian? Why? And apparently they had a Russian teacher in that school. So I was like, okay, fine. I won't learn Russian then. Fine, I'll learn Spanish if you want me to learn Spanish. Even though I don't want to learn Spanish, yeah. And an important thing when learning a language is the motivation. And I had 0 when it came to Spanish, so I had to get the motivation. So I just decided to learn a bit about the history, about why Spanish-speaking countries are nice. And I spoke to some Spanish people and they seemed nice, so I was like, okay, I'll learn Spanish then. It won't be that bad. Yeah, and that's when I started to watch Ikenna, and I got learn the techniques, and that you shouldn't really just use one resource. That's very stupid, I found out. You don't even have to learn the vocabulary or grammar if you're too lazy. The thing you can do, you can just sit there and watch TV shows. You won't understand shit in the beginning. But then as you go on and on and on, you'll just start to learn the language for some reason. I don't know, it's weird. It happened with me and with Spanish. I think I watched an hour a day. I didn't understand shit, but as it went on, I just understood shit. So I was like, interesting. Oh, there's new conjugation. Never heard of it, but I know where to use it. I don't even know what it's called. Maybe it wasn't the most efficient method to learning a language, but yeah. What I would recommend you do now, though, is learning the first 200 words, so you can say some things. And when you try to speak with people, then you can try to if you turn on the face cam, for example, you can talk with your hands, say I wanna me want supermarket, I want to walk to the supermarket, you know. Learn the first 250 words, then you can start immersing yourself, listening to videos. You won't understand anything in the beginning, and that's totally fine. But turn on Spanish subtitles and listen to it in Spanish. And you have the 250 words. And then you can learn the 1,000 most common words. And you'll start to understand the language. And then people can explain the word in Spanish to you. And when they can do that, you're fine. You don't even need English anymore. They can just explain it to you in Spanish, and you'll have even a deeper understanding of what's going on. Another very important thing is consistency, because without it you won't get anywhere. Like, your brain needs time to learn the language, like the patterns and everything. You can't just do it one day, cram for an exam, let's say, for 2 hours that day, or 5, 6, 7. Next day you take the exam, hey, you get a 6. A week later, do you remember anything? No. And that's stupid. So you should, instead, 30 minutes per day. That's everything you need to learn a language. But, I mean, you could do more and you could do less. But the most important thing is, you're consistent and you'll keep doing it every single day. Like, a student studying for 30 hours a day will learn way more than a student learning for 4 hours for 2 days a week. Way more. And they'll have more of they'll become more of a native instead of like and pronunciation as well. You should try to master it in the beginning, because then you won't like screw it up later. You'll do yourself a favor by just learning to say the words in the beginning, instead of learning the wrong way to say the words and then having to learn it again the right way. It will just mess with your head and you'll say it the wrong way most of the time. So to build this habit, you could start with like studying for 10 minutes every other day, and then move on to 10 minutes every day, and then 20 minutes every day to build a habit. Because once you have that habit, you'll learn the language. You'll just learn it, no matter what you do, as long as you immerse yourself in the language. And now for the part, or first off, if you want to see like my progress in Italian or Russian, like the video, okay? I'll probably make a video either way. If you drop a like on this video, I'll make sure to make the video about me learning Spanish, no, Italian and Russian. I'll try to make it a bit shorter than this one, or more concise without having to go through all of this again, because you'll have watched this video, so you'll be fine. Okay, so now for the part you've been waiting for. I'll answer these questions without preparation at all. This video was very spontaneous. I wrote the script yesterday, and the questions, I haven't even googled how to answer them, so I have no clue how to. I'm just gonna hope I've learned enough Spanish, okay? ¿Cuándo empezaste a aprender español? Yo empecé hace 3 años y ahora puedo hablar porque he hablado mucho español en mi vida. Yo tenía que hablar español con mi ex y la madre de mi ex porque ella no hablaba noruego o inglés. Por esa razón tenía que hablarlo con ellos en español. ¿Por qué aprendiste español? Porque tenía que aprenderlo para tener un 6 en el examen. Y la pasada vez que yo hablaba español era hace 3 meses o algo así. Y no me gusta hablar español, pero a veces lo hago. Me gusta más italiano o ruso, no. Pero este video es de español. Ok, voy a hablar sobre mi vida un poco. Me gusta escalar y hacer deportes como correr o me gusta trabajar en el ordenador haciendo cosas como IT, tecnología, informática. Y a veces tengo que usar español en mi trabajo. Yo trabajo en el gimnasio y en los miércoles hay un grupo de gente que hablan español que están sitiando, días, en los días en la recepción. Yo hablo un poco de ellos. A ellos. I hope you liked the video. I haven't spoken Spanish, as I said, in 3 months, so it's not like I do a lot of Spanish, but it just sits in my head because I've spent 3 years learning it, and I didn't even prepare for this video, so I'm like, this is supposed to be a realistic video though, of someone learning Spanish for 3 years, realistically, without having like the... Like, other YouTubers I've seen, they write a script and they just read it or memorize it. But I wanted to be like honest or like forward of what's realistic. Because you won't spend every single day speaking Spanish. And you might pivot into other languages like, yeah, Russian or Italian like I did. So bye bye, I hope you liked the video.